insights and behind-the-scenes action from the world of stock car racing. Whether you're a die-hard fan or a casual observer, we're bringing you the checkered flag and coverage. So buckle up, grab your favorite drink, and get ready to make the next left turn with us, where every lap is an adventure.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Next Left Turn. I am Josh Edwards, and Aaron, the cast man, is with me again as always. But tonight we've got a surprise. Aaron's going to take the lead for the Roval because he knows how much I don't enjoy the race. So
I don't like it just as much as you, but we're gonna take that left turn over here.
We need to, man. You haven't had lead all year, and I was like, you know what? Playoffs, it's the Roval. You know this track better than I do. By all means, sir, take it away. You have the lead.
All right. So breaking news. We have Hendrick Carr is out of the round of 8, even though he won a stage. Remember, for the 48 car, Alex Bowman was too light in his car. Now, it's kind of funny because I was actually going to talk about this tonight, that Alex Bowman, when he was taking some certain turns around, like I think the 5, 6, 7 turn, he was getting some air. And I was like, holy Jesus, like this is taking some major air out here on this Roval track. And I guess I know the reason why, because he was very light. So I guess from what I read or saw, they fueled him up twice. They tried to get everything they needed to do. They did 3 weight measurements just to make sure everything was right. So he is out. And the 22 car, Joey Logano, who just got out in the final, I would say 5 laps, where Tyler Reddick jumped him for the 8 spot, is now in the 8 spot. So Alex Bowman out, Joey Logano in. So thoughts on that? Because you are Team Penske, and I know you enjoy having Hendricks go down swinging. So
yes. So in this case, obviously, as a Penske guy, it makes me happy to have 2 guys still in the show. But for me, it's more or less that's one less Hendricks guy I got to worry about. So that it could have been anybody to take Bowman's place. I think it stinks for Bowman. This could be his last. Well, that could have been his last playoff run as a Hendricks driver. We don't know what's going on in the offseason with all the speculation about Busch maybe coming over to Hendricks. When we get some clearer news, I'm sure we'll cover that. But all I've heard is speculation left and right. So, I mean, I would have taken anybody going in over Hendricks. But hey, Joey Logano, you've been handed a gift. Don't waste it. Penske finished 1-2 at the end of this year. I don't care which one of them wins it. I guess I'd like to see Blaney get back-to-back champs, but
well, he's been a little on and off so far in these playoffs, Ryan Blaney. But I guess it kind of makes sense why Joey Logano's coming in, because next race, which we'll talk about later on, he's won a few races at Las Vegas. So I'm pretty sure this is probably why they're like, let's get Joey Logano in. Let's make NASCAR a little bit interesting. I mean, Bowman has a win in Vegas, but I think Joey Logano's won like 3, so they're probably like, let's just slide him in. But
oh, so you think it's scripted?
I mean, it isn't any sport scripted, but as we were talking about earlier, though, I was just a little surprised how he was out of the playoffs. Tyler Reddick was in. So anybody that's going to watch this later on, put in the comments, or even comments right now during the stream. I'm really not understanding these point systems, because I get it. Tyler Reddick won the first stage, and I thought he had the same amount of points as Logano or close to it. And somehow Reddick jumped Logano, even though with 5 laps left. Logano was in 8th, and Tyler Reddick was in 11th. So I don't understand how these points work. Maybe I'm just not smart enough.
You're not alone, man. I can't figure it out either. So you're not alone there.
Yeah. But also, too, I don't know if you noticed, but turns 5, 6, 7, and 16 and 17 dramatically changed in this Roval at Charlotte. So 5, 6, 7 almost looks like a triangle, like a tight triangles, where we've seen most of the drivers today were all hitting up against each other trying to take that turn. Kyle Larson, I think, was one of the only ones to really figure out that if he goes wide enough on the 6, 7, he won't hit any drivers. And then 16, 17, I believe they shaved it off a bit right near the end before you get to the checker line. So did you think with that happening that it was going to change the impact on any of these drivers, or do you think it had an advantage for some drivers like a Shane Van Gisbergen?
No, I mean Shane did not run as well as I thought he was going to run today.
I thought he did
I
all
mean,
right. I was a little nervous though because he was leading at one point. I was like, it's going to be another SVG win.
that's what I expected though. But he wasn't there at the end. It just didn't work out for him today. It was not his day. But I thought for sure he was going to have this race, and I wasn't really worried about it, to be honest. I
Hmm.
thought it would be his putting NASCAR on notice that yes, if there's a road track, I am going to dominate unless somebody takes me out. I thought that's really what it was going to be. Um, but he did not dominate this track like he has the other ones when he's gotten in the lead. He wasn't just pulling off, and it wasn't what I expected at least. And maybe I give the guy too much credit, but I mean it was a Roval race. It didn't really have much impact. I don't think on the drivers very much. And I don't think it had much impact on the fans, the changing of the track. I think we're all just ready for the Roval to be gone. If it's not going to be the Roval from Daytona, I don't want it.
Yeah, I mean, NASCAR Twitter, from what I've seen all from yesterday and today, people have loved this race, which is a little surprising. I guess we're in the minority in this, that we don't. I personally, I've said it here a million times on this show, I'm not a big road course fan. Don't care for it. Give me a super speedway. Give me anything else but a road course. But there's a lot of NASCAR Twitter who loves the Roval, so I think it's going to be staying. I don't want a playoff track. I'd rather have it in the regular season. Same thing with like
Yeah,
Watkins Glen, which I think it changed. I have to go back for the schedule, but I would keep that in the regular season. I wouldn't put that in the playoffs.
yeah. I don't see the point of that. I think you have to have a road track in the playoffs just because there are so many of them now on the schedule. You got to have one
Nah.
representative in there in the playoffs, in my opinion. But it shouldn't be this one. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I guess the race was better this year than in the past, but this is not a race that I don't look at the schedule and go, "Where's the Roval at?" Like it's not like Bristol for me or Daytona or any of the other big races, even Phoenix or Las Vegas, even Atlanta. It's I don't know. I'm not a fan of the track. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It is what it is. Like I said, if they're going to run a Roval, give me the Daytona track and let me see a historic track that we know that it's got a ton of history behind it and that we're familiar with. I think that'd be more fun. I think it's something that it's different, but it's familiar enough that I think it would make a good time for the fans.
Yeah, I mean, give me Rockingham over the
Oh
Charlotte
gosh, yeah.
Roval. Give me Rockingham over that. I know Xfinity and the Truck Series is going there on Easter, but bring it back into the Cup Series. I'd rather have that than one of these tracks. I know
Put
Chicago
North
Street Race.
Wilkesboro in here.
Yeah, I know Chicago Street Race is one more year, and then I'm not
Yeah.
sure if they're going to keep it or not, but it is what it is. But
What
first
about this?
stage, huh?
Hold on. Since we're talking tracks,
Yo,
yeah, back up before that left turn. Did you see this new track they're going to run down in Texas for IndyCar?
no, I did not.
You need to look this up, man. It's going to be run down by AT&T Stadium. It's
Mm-hmm.
going to be, I think, almost 3 miles. I think it's like 2.78. It's going to be a good sized track. If it works out, I would not mind seeing NASCAR try to see what it could do there. Because
Mm.
the one layout I saw, and I don't know if it's a final and approved or if this is what they think it's going to be. I'm not sure. But it looked interesting. It looked fast. Um, it would be something I would be interested in seeing NASCAR get to.
And this is inside AT&T Stadium
No.
or
It
like
was
near it?
the track would run in front of the stadium. It'd be another street
Oh.
course.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
It'd be
Interesting.
like a Grand Prix course.
Hmm. Oh, that is interesting. I wonder if that could work. I wonder if that could work in the NASCAR world.
I don't know. I'd be interested in letting them see it, try it, just because it's in Texas. Why not?
Yeah.
Let's have fun in Texas.
Everything's bigger in Texas, right?
Yeah, buddy. But yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead.
Oh, you're good. Shout out to Penalty Box Gaming for coming on the chat. Yes, Bowman has been DQ'd and eliminated from the playoffs. Yep, because he was too light. He was the fastest driver out there, but he was too light for everyone else.
That's why he got all the tires off the track in the first stage.
Well, before we end the first stage, I don't know if you saw it. So obviously everyone knows what's going on with the 2311 racing. They're putting in a lawsuit against NASCAR. It was kind of a big controversial thing where Bubba Wallace didn't go over the red, white, I'm gonna say line, even though it's really not. Colored paint scheme when he took that turn, I believe it was in turn 6. Got a penalty for it. I think he had to waste 1 lap. But William Byron, who Hendrick's team, we all know they signed their contract, did the same exact thing right behind Bubba Wallace, did not get penalized for it. So obviously the big conspiracy is, because Denny Hamlin didn't sign his charter agreement, they're going to go after his drivers, not anyone else, because they signed. So is that just a conspiracy theory, or the refs just not see it? They're a little blind and didn't see William Byron do the same thing.
I'm gonna reserve my comments on this till I see some more examples. I'm digging into this a little bit here and there about all this controversy with the charters and everything that has to do with the antitrust, and so I'm gonna peel back on this one, and I'm still gathering data. We'll call it that, but something sounds fishy to me. Let's put it that way.
Yeah,
and I don't like Denny Hamlin, and I'm not gonna say I'm against him right now on this one.
Got it. Yeah, I thought it was interesting that it was they were literally back to back when this happened, and obviously Bubba was the only one who got penalized for it. And my assumption is that because William Byron is already advanced to the round of 8, even if he did take that penalty, it wouldn't matter. Plus, he's a playoff driver. So that was my assumption. I don't even care that it's 23-11 or anything like that, but I did see that was just a little bit odd that happened. But we'll just go into stage 1 real quick, because after that, nothing really crazy happened. So the top 10 finishes off Tyler Reddick, Joey Logano, my man Chase Elliott, which I have a gripe with his paint scheme. I'll talk about that a little bit later. Ryan Blaney 4th, Kyle Larson 5th, Shaven Ginsburg 6th, Ty Gibbs 7th, AJ Allmendinger finished 8th, Brad Keselowski 9th, and Austin Cindric finished 10th. And Austin Cindric needed these points. Well, he really needed a win, but he needed those points. So anyone in the top 10 that you saw that you were like, okay, yeah, no, this is kind of expected from all these drivers?
I mean, really, yeah. Because Keselowski's kind of, he usually doesn't show up on road tracks till the end. Reddick's good. Logano's been good there. Chase Elliott's won there twice. Gibbs has been, that seems like it makes sense to me.
Yeah. Let's see here. So pretty much stage 2 happens. I believe that's when a lot of things go down. So obviously, I believe, I could be wrong on this one, but was Daniel Suarez, was that happening in the stage 2? I believe it was, right, with his car. I know Chase Briscoe happened. So he was eliminated automatically. I believe he had a tire problem or something like that. So he finished 37th.
Suarez gets into it with Keselowski in stage 2.
Yeah, I know Keselowski spun around.
Suarez has issues in stage 3.
So Suarez was stage 3. I don't think he's stage 2. Here's what it is. But also, too, what happened in stage 2, we had John Hunter Nemechek brought out a caution here. Tire went a little bit loose. I believe underneath his car near the back bumper came off. Pretty much eliminated his night. He's having some bad luck this season. I thought he was actually going to be pretty good this year. Hopefully we can get on one of his pit crew to talk about his season from this year later on the off season. But I kind of feel bad for the kid because he was one of those guys that came up a few years ago that was like, oh, it's gonna be the next, great driver. He got lumped in with Cole Custer and Tyler Reddick when they first came up. And so far with Legacy, he hasn't really done too much, which is kind of sad because I think he's a good driver when he's in the Xfinity series, but he's having some
He
really
was
bad
real
luck
good
in
in the
the
Xfinity series.
yeah, he's having some really bad luck here in the Cup series.
I think it comes with the family name. I mean,
For
let's
anyone
be
who
honest.
yeah.
Front Row Joe was a bad man when he qualified.
Yep.
He didn't win that many races.
No, not
He was
one
called
bit.
Front Row Joe for a reason. The dude was always on the pole.
Yeah. And then I believe also in stage 2, Corey LaJoy had an engine problem, so that's ending the 51 car for the day, which we all kind of expected from Corey LaJoy in the 51. He has
I
his
don't
moments.
like him in that car.
Well, I think that's going to be his spot, unless I don't know if he signed with them or if he's just there for the season, just doing a trial run. But
yeah, I think he's there the rest of the season. I just don't like him in that car now.
So you want him back in the 7 because it ain't gonna happen.
Well, I know it's not. I just don't like the 51 car.
Yeah,
I just don't like the 51 car.
yeah. I mean, I was kind of surprised. It's nice, a nice Ford. You know, Justin Haley was running pretty well in it. I think it's just the curse of Corey LaJoy. He's another guy. You know, he hasn't won a race. He finishes. I think he's got a few top 10s, which is kind of surprising.
Right.
But other than that, he's just an average driver to me. I think he'll get picked up by someone, but I don't think anything's gonna happen. Obviously during some of the pits here on stage 2, it just looked like a bunch of can of sardines. I didn't really understand the process of their pit in the Roval. It was just a little bit too tight for everyone. Nothing like serious happened, but it was just quite interesting that everything was just so tight and compact, almost like Chicago.
Yes, exactly. It definitely added another element of something that had to be paid attention to in a more detailed fashion than normal.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it was a little tight. It was a little different. We talk about strategy a lot. You know, more times than not, we do talk about some point of the strategy in the race. It was different this time with the pitting. It wasn't like the standard road tracks where the standard strategy get that last pit stop in a little early so you don't got to stop the rest of the race.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. This whole race just fell off to me.
You and me both. You and me both. Again, I keep saying it. I'm not a fan of these kind of road courses. That's just me. But to end stage 2, obviously Alex Bowman got the first stage that he's won since the Chicago Street Race. But obviously that doesn't count anymore since he is disqualified. So he won, and then AJ Allmendinger finished 2nd. Joey Logano finished 3rd. Chase Elliott 4th. Bubba finishing 5th. Ryan Blaney, your guy, finishing 6th. Austin Cindric finishing 7th. He's getting those points. Austin Cindric was creeping up a little bit, especially near the end of stage 2 when he got into the top 10 again. So I really thought he was going to win this just because I feel like he's pretty good at Talladega and the Roval. I was like, all right, he's definitely going to punch his ticket. I think he's just waiting. Like we were just talking about strategy. I thought he was going to win it, but he did not. But Michael McDowell, our favorite guy in the Love's car, finished 8th.
That was the one that I was surprised about.
Yeah. Kyle Busch, 9th. That was a little surprising. And then Kyle Larson rounding it off in 10th.
Oh, Kyle Larson. Dude is just unreal. He's just such a good driver. And the thing is, he's either up front and winning or he's wrecking out.
Yep.
Like, that's just how it is for him. I mean, not every time, but I feel like that's how his races are. Either he's winning or he's wrecking.
Yep. I think at that point.
The movie guy.
Oh, from
Ricky Bobby.
Oh, Ricky Bobby.
He ain't first or last, and if he doesn't win, he crashes.
Yeah, I think at that point, I think he was leading maybe 5 or 10 laps. So when I saw that he was in 10th, I was like, all right, I think he pit. With like 2 laps or 3 laps before the end of the stage. A lot of drivers were doing that. And I was like, Chase Elliott, you better not pit in this. And he did, and he finished 4th. I was like, sweet, because when you guys were watching, he was in 8th, 5th, 6th, 5th. He's going up and down. I said, Chase, you need these points, man. You need these points. Stay out. And he did. I was like, whoo, I'll take the 4th.
Dude, you know they're not going to let Chase Elliott go not make the playoffs or be continuing through it right now.
Well, I mean, he had a pretty good race, and he, like I said in the last episode, he did win back-to-back at the Roval. So I had confidence in him. I just wanted him to get enough points where he's not, like, literally in the 8th spot or 7th. I wanted him high up in, like, 5 or 6 just to go into
Fair
Vegas.
enough.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And starting off in the stage 3, Kyle Larson got the call saying that he advanced. So he was the second car to advance. And then also, I believe in the beginning of stage 3, I could be wrong, maybe a little bit in the middle, Christopher Bell got the call saying you advanced. So I thought
it was
Kyle
early
Larson
in stage 3.
It was early, right? Yeah. I knew it was like in the beginning or almost in the middle. I don't even know how to describe it because it's like 109 laps. Like, what is the middle? But I thought those two drivers were going to take a back seat because, hey, I'm already in. I don't have to win it. I got the points. I'm good to go. Not so fast.
At a track like this, the safest place to be is up front.
True. I mean, I thought William Byron was going to not do too much, and he actually was like trying, even though he said in the pregame that, yeah, I'm locked up. I'm just going to kind of cruise just to survive to go to Vegas. But he was trying in the third, that's for sure.
I think if something like this, if you're just cruising along, I think that can mess with your rhythm. I think that's how you wreck your car.
Well, Logano didn't when he won, when he punched into the round of 12. He kind of was cruising those last two. Like, he was in like that top 10, 15, but he wasn't doing anything that he needed to do a little extra to secure himself.
I mean, I'm talking about like at this track.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I think if you're taking it easy, you're not taking it seriously at a road track or a street course. I think that may prove you to, even if you're locked up, that may prove you to make a bad decision and maybe you wreck your car, maybe you get hurt. It's not where, like, if they were at an oval or something where he's just making left turns.
Yeah.
Making another left turn, that's not that. It's different here. That's all I was saying.
Gotcha. But we did have a little bit of interesting things going on in stage 3. Austin Dillon lost a tire.
Yep.
But thankfully enough, he got into the pit, got his tire. He was only down 2 laps. So good for him. I believe Eric Jones got roughed up a little bit. The 43 car. He's been having a little bit of a struggle the last 2-3 races. Suarez was having a little bit of trouble with his car. The Watermelon Man, I don't know if you saw, I believe it was in turn 6, that pesky 5, 6, 7 turn. Went a little airborne, saw some flames out there. Nothing crazy though. His car was still intact, but just
SVG and Busher got into it and had a little spin.
Yeah, SVG and Busher around that. It's that turn. I believe that turn was the either Cadillac. Was 6, 7. Yeah. They collide a little bit. I didn't really understand why they did that though. I think they were saying it was like a little bit more of a challenge, but it's like that's a tight corner. You're gonna see a lot of accidentes.
Indy cars, they've been fine. F1, they've been fine, but that's a real tight turn for a stock car.
Yeah. And that's why I said earlier that Kyle Larson kind of figured it out where he went a little bit to the outside, and that way he could just straight shot it after that. So, but other than that, though, in the third stage, nothing else really happened that kind of impacted anything.
Right?
Huh?
It was just Larson, right? Larson happened.
Larson happened, led 62 laps in this race, secured the victory. Anyone didn't see that. But the big thing was, again, yes, penalty box game. Turn 7 ad made it more interesting. Do you think so though? I didn't feel like it was interesting. I just felt like a lot of these guys were just making the turn. They're hitting more into each other than anything. I don't know if that's interesting, but I mean, let us know in the comments what you think about that. But
I mean, collisions are interesting.
But these ones are just kind of like little like bump and runs. And the only one that really happened was the Ty Gibbs, Denny Hamlin, Chase Briscoe that happened in the first stage, was knocked out Briscoe. Keselowski got into SVG. I think that's really it, right? Kind of the big ones.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's true.
That's true.
PBG makes a good point there.
That's true, and it does make sense as well. So Tyler Reddick obviously was -0 Joey Logano for the last 8 spot, and he was 15th past Denny Hamlin for I believe it was 12th, and then finished 11th in the race. Joey Logano finished 8th. So I think because Tyler Reddick won the first stage and collaborated enough points, he got in, as we talked about a little bit earlier in the show. Alex Bowman disqualified. I think he finished
18th.
18th, right? Yeah, I was gonna say in the top 20. But so the final happened. Kyle Larson, obviously. Christopher Bell, who punched in his ticket, finished 2nd. William Byron came in 3rd. Austin Cindric came in 4th, but it was not enough to get into the round of 8. Chase Elliott finished 5th. AJ Allmendinger 6th. Shane Van Gisberg 7th. Joey Logano, like I said, 8th. Bubba finished 9th. Ryan Blaney finished 10th. Tyler Reddick 11th. Carson Hocevar thought he had a pretty silent race, finished 12th. Kyle Busch finishing 13th. And then Denny Hamlin, who makes it into the round of 8, finished 14th. Michael McDowell 15th. Rick Stenhouse 16th. Buescher 17th. Todd Gilliland 18th. Zane Smith 19th. Harrison Burton 20th. Martin Truex 21st. Josh Berry, kind of surprised to finish 22nd because he was around the 30s for most of this race. So he finished 22nd.
He didn't have a good car this weekend.
Yeah, he was not good. Brad Keselowski 23rd. Daniel Hemrick 24th. Ryan Preece 25th. The number 7 car, new driver Justin Haley 26th. Kaz Grala 27th. Ross Chastain, the Watermelon Man 28th. Josh Bilicki 29th. Daniel Suarez. Unfortunately, his season ends. Finished 30th. Noah Gragson 31st. Austin Dillon 32nd. Went 2 laps down. Eric Jones 33rd. John Hunter Nemechek 34th. Ty Gibbs 35th. He had an engine problem. Didn't really talk about, but it doesn't matter because he's not in the playoffs. Chase Briscoe 36th. Corey LaJoie 37th. And then Alex Bowman 38th because of the DQ. So that means the playoff standings for the round of 8 are currently Kyle Larson, number 1. Christopher Bell, number 2. Tyler Reddick, number 3. William Byron, number 4. Ryan Blaney, 5. Denny Hamlin, 6th. Chase Elliott, 7th. And Joey Logano, 8th. Hopefully these are updated.
Yeah,
but that is your round of 8 going into Las Vegas. And Las Vegas, to me, is won by Hendrick, so expect the Hendrick car to win it. I believe they won the last 3 out of the 4. I know Logano won 1 in there in that time frame, but expect the Hendrick car to win next week, unless it changes.
I could see Blaney coming out and popping off in Vegas.
Ooh, so you think Team Penske in general?
I think it's Hendricks or Logano or Penske in this race. Honest to God, I really do. We have 4 races left in the season. We get Vegas. We get to go to Homestead, Miami. We get Martinsville, and we all love Martinsville. And then we end up back in Phoenix. Yep. This is it. 4 races left to decide the whole kit and caboodle. Hendricks obviously has the best chance. Penske second. As of right now, who do you think wins the championship?
I mean, it's looking like to me Kyle Larson is going to secure this. I still had Tyler Reddick winning it in the beginning when the playoffs started, but he's been a little off so far. Even though he's a regular season champ, he really hasn't done much in the playoffs. So I think it's going to be Kyle Larson.
I would tend to lead with you on being Larson. I don't know, man. Something about Christopher Bell. There's something about him. He's been a pest all season long. He's been a good driver. He's been in it. He gets hot and cold streaks. He hasn't been hot or cold recently.
You're not wrong, and I believe he's been in the Final Four 2 out of the 3 years,
something like that. I mean, he is scary to me. I think so. Here's my Final Four. My Final Four: Larson, Bell, Elliott. I'm gonna say Blaney.
I was waiting for you to say it, to be honest.
But that's who I think it is, and I think Bell has a chance to get the championship. I really do.
I mean, that makes sense because all he does is race. We saw it in that Netflix NASCAR. All he does is really race. I was going to pick Joey Logano because now he's in it. Because, yes, he has been in the Final Four every year since the inception. Also, too, I agree. Also, penalty box gaming. Elliott's best shot to get to the Final Four is Martinsville. Oh, yeah. He's getting up there. He's definitely getting up there. Standings wise and races, I think now he's going to really turn it up. He is a NASCAR champion. He is my favorite driver, so I will definitely use the bias on that. But my Final Four is pretty much yours, except I'm going to put in Joey Logano instead of Ryan Blaney.
Fair enough. It's odd that we're in the same kind of headspace for the Final Four.
Yeah, I mean we're a little realistic here, you know.
Yeah,
no fantasy here.
I just don't think Denny's got enough to get out of the. I mean, he's got tracks that he's going to be better at coming up. I don't know. I just feel like he's run out of gas this year. He's had a rough last 6-7 weeks. So I just think he's running out of gas. I think Reddick is going to. I don't know. Something's going to happen to Reddick. Bad luck. I think Byron's going to run out of steam. Larson to me seems unflappable. But like I said, Bell is Bell. And something about the way Chase Elliott's been this year just tells me that he's going to be in that Final Four at the end.
Yeah. Like I said before when we were starting up this show, I mean, Elliott's really just been coasting. Ever since he got that win in Texas, he's just been coasting in the regular season. Playoffs, he was coasting a little bit, but he knew where to end up in the final to get into these stages. I think now Gustafson, who is an experienced crew chief, he's going to tell him, hey, listen, turn, to quote a little basketball quote, turn on the Jets. So I think he's going to do that going forward. And yeah, I agree. I think Martinsville is probably his best shot to get it, which is, I believe, in November. It's the last race before Phoenix.
Second last race.
Yeah. Or is it second last race? I thought it was the last race before Phoenix.
Well, no, it's second last race in the season. Phoenix is the last race.
Yeah. Second last race in the season, yeah. But coming up to 33 minutes, got any final last words there, Mr. Josh Edwards?
I'm ready to get back to real NASCAR racing. I'm excited for Vegas next week.
Yeah, I feel you on that. Definitely feel you on that. And also, too, make sure you guys subscribe to the Next Left Turn. Hit that little bell right there. Bing. It'll go bing. Make sure you guys subscribe to Variety Sports Network. We got not only the Next Left Turn, but also Talking the Gridirons on right now. We got the Saturday Showcase Monday night. The 5-hole just came out Saturday morning, so check that one out. If anyone loves hockey, appreciate Penalty Box Gaming for coming into the chat. So pretty much, if anyone wants to come in here into the chat, we read the comments. We interact with everyone who puts it in there in the comments on YouTube, Twitter, X, however you want to call it. It's great for us to go one-on-one, talk more NASCAR with other fans. It's not just me and Josh talking all the time. But
you get tired of hearing us.
Yeah, we got a little tired of each other. We got a little tired of ourselves. Yeah, penalty box game. That's not bad too. Larson, Byron, Elliott, and Blaney kind of piggybacking off Josh. Thanks a lot. But I have one last thing. I have a big gripe with Chase Elliott only for his scheme. So he had UniFirst. This is the second time he's had UniFirst on his car. Not a big fan of UniFirst, for I work for their competitor, Cintas. So I'm just a little infuriated why Cintas, the uniform company, hasn't put a paint scheme on a driver yet. So that's a little annoying that I see UniFirst. They haven't. No, it's just kind of surprising. I don't like it at all.
I thought they were on somebody's car. Maybe it's on an Xfinity car.
I hope so. I'm going to look into it, but I haven't seen it in the Cup yet. So I'm a little infuriated because I am a NASCAR fan. I work for them, you know. But I'm Aaron the Cast Man. This is Josh Edwards. Again, hit the subscribe and like button on the show. We will see you guys next week talking Vegas.
See you guys.